All right, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast After Show. Um, yeah, that title, right? They created the Blob. That's a little that's a bit much. Well, it turns out British researchers have trained a hydrogel to play the 1970s computer game Pong. So, dude, he's got this. It looks like how they have the silicone breast implants,
Yep.
like the little,
Mhm.
you probably have one you carry around and squeeze throughout the day,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes
Whatever.
stress
Sure,
reliever.
sure. So they created that, and they can connect it to some electrodes, and it can play Pong. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it says researchers at the University of Reading placed a piece of water based gel between two plates of electrodes. They administered electric currents representing the paddle and the ball through the gel, training it to extend the length of time that the ball was in play. The gel reached its peak skill level after only 20 minutes. And there's a video that you can watch, but the video is like 10 minutes long,
Mhm.
and that wasn't gonna
Now,
make
does
it for
this
me.
does
So,
this water-based gel, does it consume people and assimilate them and then
well, I figure
grow?
that's the next logical step.
I
All
mean,
right.
how does it eat? Does it
It
eat
feeds on people,
organic
is my
matter?
guess. I mean, it's got to feed on people, or sometimes, like in the movie, it fed on the cars.
Yeah, right,
It
right.
just kept going. See, they're like, oh, we taught it to do a 1970s video game. And I was waiting and it was based on a 1970s movie. You,
Mhm.
you see how it goes there?
Right,
I mean,
right.
time is like the fourth dimension. So it's all right, like relative right
Yeah.
there.
And that really was the best one because they made one in the 50s, I think, and then
Mm.
they made one in the 90s again. But
Oh,
the 70s one was really that
really,
was
when it
the
came
best one.
together,
Yeah,
and they're all like,
that was the
no,
best.
no. I don't know.
Mhm.
I think I remember the 50s actually. I
Yeah,
don't know
well, that
how.
one was black and white, and so it wasn't as,
Mm.
wasn't as cool. The one in the 70s had color and, the blob was all red from the blood and shit like that, but,
Right.
whatever. I mean,
Yeah. So,
everybody likes those
yeah.
I mean, at least I'm a big fan of those old, sci-fi horror
No, but
movies.
I mean, in general, right? If you could create a gel that can think and process thought, right? Are you not thinking if you're playing Pong? Like, how is that? Or,
Right.
all right, how about this? Maybe it's not thinking, maybe it's learning.
Alright. And maybe it's gonna learn that people are delicious.
Yeah, there you go. He's like, the guy's going to cut his finger in the lab one day
Uh-huh.
and be like, and then it'll get its first taste and be like,
Mhm.
oh, hello. And then, yeah, it goes from there and it'll be like, I can turn into something wonderful.
Mhm.
So anyway, I put a link to that in the comments here or in the show notes, I guess is what it is.
Right.
So you can check that out. I have other amazing news. They're wrapping up the DNC convention thing. I think yesterday was the last day. You guys are going to be ecstatic to know Kamala. We didn't think she was going to do it, but she accepted the nomination.
Shocker.
It was
A
like
real
breaking news on
shocker.
my phone.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, I didn't see that coming."
Yep, yep. Alright. Good old Kamala and Tim Walz and,
Yeah. Now, I did see they're bashing so his his son Tim Walls, his son maybe has some I don't know. Maybe autism or something. I don't know. They said something. They really just said ADHD, which that I don't see how that
that's not really a
relates to anything.
disability.
That's
I
like
mean,
everybody, right? That's
yeah.
like everybody. Um, but anyway, and so he was emotional and proud of his dad. And then so like supposedly Republicans were like making fun of him. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how do we get there? Like, yeah. I mean, to me, that makes you a better candidate. If your
Right.
family loves you,
Yeah.
then that makes you a
Then
good
you're not
guy.
a total piece of shit,
Right.
you
Like
know?
if your kid's like, that fucking guy, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
If you're like, yeah, dad, I love you. I'm like, well, that guy's probably pretty cool. If
Yeah. Yeah. It was
I
I
just
think it
don't
was really
see.
just Laura Ingraham shitting
Is that
on
what it
him.
was?
Yeah, it
She
was just
jumped on it.
one cunty bitch. But I mean, everybody's known that she's been a cunty bitch for 20 years, you know?
Man.
That's not like new. information. She's always been a shitty person.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
I mean, the guy's absolutely a socialist and not anybody I would want
there's
in any
reasons.
way.
There's
Right.
reasons to talk bad about him
Right.
or
He's not
whatever.
what we want, right, Chris? I'm with you. I
Mhm.
don't get me wrong there. I'm just like, yeah, because your kid is really passionate and loves you. Yeah, it's not really something. And like, oh, look at that kid. He's not normal like everybody else. Oh, let's make fun of. Yeah, that really is not a cool way to be.
Right.
If that's you, you might want to apologize to yourself for being
Mhm.
embarrassing. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't say anything about the weirdos that are fucking carrying around vials of fake JD Vance semen. Have you seen these pictures?
Ooh, tell me more.
I don't know where they're getting them from, if they bought them at like some convention or something, but
Hmm.
all these people have these little vials that has JD Vance's semen, fake. It's not his real semen. And
How do you know?
you'd be exhausted, bro. You
Yeah.
can't put out that much semen and still run a campaign. It's not possible. But yeah, that was a little fucking that was a little off-putting. I gotta admit, I don't know what the own there is or what you're trying to prove, but it's just kind of fucking creepy, bro. Carrying another dude's sperm around is not, I don't know, not
All
my
right.
thing. I mean,
I,
maybe I'm out of the loop. Maybe I don't understand, but I'm
I
not.
searched it and I don't see it on the internet, but
Oh no, I saw about 10 pictures the past week.
maybe I don't know how to spell could be my problem. That
Mm-hmm.
could be.
I'll have
The
to send it over to you after this.
Canada
But
had a railroad stoppage. Over
mm-hmm.
9,000 rail workers were locked out at Canada's two major railroads yesterday amid failed contract negotiations with the Teamsters Union. The stoppage is expected to cost roughly 750 million a day. Now, mind you, that's probably Canadian, so that's probably like $10 or something. I don't really know how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is the exchange, are they actually better than us? I feel like every time I ask that. It used to be the Canadian dollar was worth less than the US dollar by a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 80 cents to the dollar. And then all of a sudden it got better. And it like, I think it surpassed the dollar for like a minute. And then it went back down, is what I think. But I'm not even 100% sure. You guys can probably yell at me and correct me. I'm sure I've been wrong before.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm sending this video over to you right now. The semen.
Yes, slow burn. I'm sure I'm on a list. I was already on that list, but you're right. This might be a fun new list. I
Yeah. Well, I
might get
mean,
some new ads popping up in Facebook.
yeah.
Things
What
you
is the
might be
list that it
interested in.
actually? Yeah. What is the
Yeah.
list we're actually on now? I mean, I feel like we've got to be with FBI, Homeland Security, the basics, the NSA. I mean, I'm sure, but I don't know that there's any sort of lists that, I mean, Canada, I'm sure, is probably after us. We probably broke some law. Apparently, you can get in trouble for saying shit that's illegal in the UK. You can get in trouble if
Yes.
you're a US citizen. Like, I mean, I know I can't travel to China. I know they're going to arrest me as soon as I land if I went there. So I'm sure I'm on the list there.
Yes. I can't work out how that works, but
Yeah.
turning things is hard. All right, so there's the story, but Slow Burn says $1.35 Canadian gets you $1 US. He actually said it the opposite way, but I was able
Right.
to twist that around. And you
All
get
right.
it.
So we're a little ahead. So when they give me change, they
It's
give me
about how I
that
remember it.
Canadian quarter when I'm at the gas station, and now I have to like assault the attendant
Yeah,
there, and
be like, no, that's not a quarter. No,
yeah, I don't want 23 cents. Take this bullshit back to you. Yeah, no, I don't.
yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna have to do now, because I get them a lot here. Upstate New York gets a lot of Canadian currency.
I'd try
next
and
day.
unload my currency too if I was a Canadian.
Yeah, go down there and just use it like regular money.
Yeah,
But all right.
common folk.
Yeah, so that's it. About all I see going on currently. Obviously, there's a lot in politics, a lot of stuff we could talk about, and we'll just argue back and forth.
Tell me this. So we try not to be like, I mean, obviously we both, Kevin has his anarchist views. I have my libertarian views. I don't know. Do you identify as an anarchist, Kevin? Is that what you are in your heart?
Not publicly, like
Not
on this
public-
podcast. I won't say that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys obviously understand where we lean in whatever in different ways, but it's not like we're going to be like, because the thing is, I don't think anybody should ever tell you how to vote, right? You
Mhm.
should never be like, oh, well, this. But
Right.
I wonder, like, so what one of our listeners sent an email and was like, hey, let's maybe do like a not necessarily a who to vote for, but a list of what issues kind of matter. Now, if we did an episode like that and like what issues kind of matter to us and why or how they could affect your life, is that something that would be interesting? Is that something you guys would want next week, or is that crazy?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
that's where I'm going.
I don't know. I mean, I know that around election time, anytime it comes up, I say, well, I don't think you should vote. Voting's for losers.
Yes,
And
can I say that.
and somebody questioned me once about it. And I was like, if you're gonna listen to some random asshole at the gas station, you shouldn't be voting anyway. You know what I mean? Like if I'm swinging, somebody you don't know is swinging your opinion on whether or not to vote, you're not,
Yeah,
your vote shouldn't count for shit
doesn't
because
count.
you don't know what the fuck is going on.
No, I mean, Kevin, have you seen our two candidates? Does anybody know what the fuck's going on?
Jesus, it's a goddamn shit show. But I mean, this isn't even like new. You know what I mean? Like
No.
we've had bad choices for president going back as far as I can remember, you know?
Yeah, but
Back
do they
all the
get
way
worse
back
every
to
time?
what's that?
Do they get worse every time?
It seems like they get
It
worse every
seems
time.
like they
Do you
do.
remember when we had the choice between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton? Jesus Christ. Like, what am I supposed to do here? You know what I mean? Like, I can punch myself in the dick, and that would be about as comfortable
About
as
as
it would
good of
be
a choice?
voting for either one of those.
All right. We've upset enough people for one day. We'll see what we can do. But no, we appreciate you guys and Chris. Yeah,
Thanks for
I'll
sticking
see
around.
what we can do. But yeah, nothing shows up on our feed from that guy anymore because we blocked him. And but the thing is, I thought that blocked him from like the channel kind of thing, but apparently not. It just blocked him from me seeing it because now it just looks like I'm delicate.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's like, oh, Chuck can't handle those offensive words.
Right.
We got to be. Now, how is it anything I say, they're like, shut it down. We're not even posting that video.
Right.
Chuck, you're way too offensive. But then some moron comes out and says all this dumb stuff in the comments. And they're like, that's good. But Chuck, he's a little delicate. He gets a little worried. So, you know how it is, guys. But we're trying. All right. So with that, we will catch you guys next week. So stay safe.